In this video, we talk about business accounting mistakes, the importance, how does it add to the growth of the business, and in particular, we'll talk about issues Amazon sellers might be facing with accounting. My guest today is Timur from Osome company. This company helps Amazon businesses and other e-commerce and different other businesses with accounting, automatic accounting, because they have integration with different marketplaces, as well as they can scan automatically any kind of format of your invoices. So check them out. Check Osome. Subscribe to the YouTube channel of Orange Klik. Here we talk with different Amazon experts and software creators. And now enjoy this conversation with Timur. Hello, Timur. It's nice to have you here. Could you please introduce yourself and tell us how Osome helps Amazon sellers?
Hi, Augustus. Thank you for having me. My name is Timur. I'm one of the senior accountants here at Osome UK. Osome UK is an online accounting platform which helps e-commerce merchants and sellers to get their bookkeeping and accounting in place with automation and technology behind it. And so the main purpose of Osome is to gather all the information there is out there for the business that you're doing on e-commerce platform and produces it in a way that is simple to read, easy to focus on, and easy to submit your tax filings and other bits and bobs.
So in this session, we'll be talking about the importance of bookkeeping for e-commerce business owners. And let's start from the beginning. Could you please explain us or define what is bookkeeping?
Bookkeeping is an important aspect for any business. And what we need to understand is that bookkeeping means recording everything into the system of what you're doing in terms of your business. So a basic example is anything you sell, you record it in sales. Anything you purchase, expenses, you record it in that manner. And then you get a result of what you have done in a specific period. And bookkeeping is just that. So it's recording your transactions in a way that helps you to do your things like manage your business, file your taxes, and everything else that's related to it.
All right, so big Amazon sellers in the industry, very often they say, know your numbers. So I guess that the bookkeeping is a big part of it. Could you please explain to us the importance of bookkeeping in Amazon business?
As I said, bookkeeping is an important aspect for any e-commerce client. Mainly it's pushed under the rug because it does not have apparent immediate financial benefit for a business owner, but an e-commerce client normally puts bookkeeping at the very last of their focus, because the main focus for them is to deal with the products and finding a good suppliers and finding a good market. However, to truly understand how beneficial any product or your specific market or the whole business itself is, you need bookkeeping. And what we normally tend to do is say that bookkeeping helps you with three different main aspects. And those aspects are analyzing your business, planning and controlling your future, and most important one, filing your tax on time. Now, if I talk about analyzing your business, if you don't have bookkeeping in place and if you don't have the accurate accounting in place, how would you know what your business is doing and which direction your business is going? Yes, you can use your Amazon reports to find out, how much you sold, but that selling is not your actual profit. Or that selling is not an actual understanding of are you a profitable business on e-commerce or not. So the way bookkeeping will help you is to look at your reports on regular intervals and see how well your business is doing and compare it with different periods. So for example, how well you did in last week compared to how well you're doing this week, and if you need to make any drastic actions to see if things should change. And for Amazon platform, it can help you to identify which of your product is profitable. So yes, you're making sales, and let's say you're selling 10 products on Amazon and you're making good sales, but which of those 10 products is the actual beneficial product for you? And do you have a dead product which you're just carrying on and incurring cost, or all of your 10 products are, high profitable products? So this is where the bookkeeping comes in and explains which of your product is your market product and your star product, or, a product which is dead and you need to focus on your energy somewhere else. And for all of this, obviously, you need reporting and you need to understand the trends, and that you get through bookkeeping. Another quick example on analyzing your business is, For example, you have £5,000 cash at the moment in your bank account. Now, you got a really good deal from one of your suppliers saying that if you buy now for the £5,000 worth of goods, you'll get it in a really good price, and you can save a lot of profit on it and have a good margin. But technically, yes, you have £5,000 cash in your account. But if you have bookkeeping right, you would know by just looking at some simple reports that out of that £5,000, £2,000 is owed to one of your other service providers, like someone in marketing or product shooting for you, for example, and you owe them £2,000, which needs to be paid in 15 days. Now, this should tell you that yes, you have £5,000 cash in your hand, but out of that, £2,000 is not yours. That needs to go in 15 days. And if you pay the supplier that £5,000, you might end up not being able to pay the £2,000 to your other suppliers of marketing and, as I said, product shooting, for example. And this is where bookkeeping is coming in and telling you what you see at the front is not actually what your situation is. And if you end up missing that payment of £2,000, you will end up losing your reputation, market connection, and bad name with the suppliers of different types. So this is where bookkeeping is coming in and helping you analyzing your business. Now, another aspect I spoke about was planning and controlling your future. Budgeting is a big thing for any businesses. And again, a lot of e-commerce businesses do not look into it in detail because, it's probably another familiar concept, or it's not something that many businesses want to spend their time on. But it's really good to control your cost. And if you keep budgeting in advance and you compare your actual months with it, you can see, where your business have going on a different trend of what you actually thought it would. And then that will help you control your cost. And the last bit, as I mentioned, taxation and filing. We all know preparing your filing and tax last minute creates an unnecessary stress. Regular bookkeeping means everything will be in place and ready by the time your tax are due. With Amazon, as you know, you should record your sales in the right jurisdiction, declare the correct tax, rather than just recording your payouts as sales. Now, if you're doing the bookkeeping correctly throughout the period, you know that you would be doing it in correct manner rather than just resolving all of this a day before your deadline. So those are the few facts which I think really are important for Amazon seller or any e-commerce platform, which will help them with their bookkeeping and accounting in long run.
Thank you. And I do guess that a lot of Amazon sellers, they are, of course, doing their bookkeeping, but they might think they're doing it in a correct and good way, but I'm sure they might be not seeing some mistakes they are doing in the process. So could you please share with us some common mistakes you see in Amazon sellers which they do during their bookkeeping?
Yeah. So one of the things that I would like to discuss on errors is the sales side. So I've seen some merchants recording their payouts as sales. The thinking behind is that any money coming into the bank account from Amazon is their actual sales, but actually the real sale is the product selling price, and Amazon deducts their various other elements, then pays the rest in your bank account. So that final amount that you receive as payout is not your sales. This is wrong from that perspective as well, as I've seen some merchants using payout to calculate the £85,000 threshold. The threshold is not based on the payout, it's actually based on your actual sales. So any seller looking at their last 12 months and trying to see, when they reach the threshold and when they need to register for VAT and start charging VAT on their products, they look at the payouts and calculate their 12 months worth of 85K, which is wrong. The 85K will depend on how much you have sold on Amazon before all the deduction from Amazon accounts. Another major mistake that I've seen is merchant recording their goods, what they buy, as cost of sales. Yes, it is cost of sales. So anything that you buy and you sell will be your cost of sales. But the actual treatment of it should be whatever you've bought from your suppliers needs to be recorded as inventory. And as and when you sell on Amazon, whatever you've sold, you need to take that cost out of your inventory and put it under your P&L, profit and loss account, in that specific period. What normally tends to happen is that Amazon seller will record all their purchases as cost in 1 month, and in that month they probably wouldn't sell the same amount of same level of inventory, so they record loss. where in the next month they wouldn't record any cost, they will only record sales and they would record profit. So month by month, that makes a big difference in variances, and obviously it creates a whole chain of effect of recording losses in some month and profit in some month, where the way it should have been is simply recording cost based on what you've sold rather than everything in one go.
All right. So could you please tell us how correct bookkeeping could help grow your Amazon business? Like, how does it affect the growth of the business?
Accounting is a strategic tool, and that should be used to have an edge on competition. And for e-commerce, competition is the main thing. So every other product on selling on Amazon is kind of a competition to you. So accounting helps you to have that edge on competition and understand your business in detail as well. You would use things like gross profit margin ratios, which will help you understand how your business model is doing compared to other competitors. In Amazon, it's well known that whatever product you pick up, you can see quite easily what the gross profit margin is for that product. And with your business model, with your value chains and suppliers and delivery, if you think you can achieve the same gross profit margin, then that's the product that you need to get into. And if you can do it better, then you will have an edge over your competitors. So that's where accounting and bookkeeping comes in, to help you understand with simple numbers and simple ratios that can you do this, rather than having to pay someone a big amount of money just to understand if your product is profitable or not for you.
So earlier you shared with us mistakes which sellers are doing while organizing their bookkeeping. And could you please go deeper, maybe with some numbers and to explain in more details?
Yeah, sure. So let's stick to the same example I gave you before, but let's add some numbers to it. So recording your all of your purchases as cost of goods sold on the first day. So for example, you're a home essential e-commerce business and you're buying 100,000 worth of goods from your supplier. Now, obviously, you don't have all of that cash. So the way you normally deal with this is you pay the deposit to book that in of £20,000, for example, and you pay that, let's say, in a month of May. And you will get your items delivered to you in next 2 months, so June, July. By the end of July, you will have your products and you will start selling them in August. Now, what will happen is that if you're doing it in a cash basis, which is you paid £20,000 in May, you will record that as expense. And then you will record any other payments you have made, and the final payment you make in July when the products are released, the remaining £80,000, you record the whole £100,000 in the span of 3 months. What that's doing to your books is by the time you've come to start selling your products in August, you've already recorded 100,000 worth of losses. You first need to get sale enough to get rid of that loss on your books and then start recording any profit. Again, this is a wrong way of doing it. The actual accounting and accrual way is to, as soon as you receive the invoice from your suppliers of 100K worth of goods, you need to record this inventory. That will sit in your books as a positive value and show that your business has that much worth of value in its books at the moment. And when you start selling in August, you then start recording those as and when you sell. So for example, for the first month of August, you sold 10 units of it worth £20,000, which costed you £10,000. You will only record £10,000 worth of cost of goods sold and £20,000 worth of sales. And your net profit after all the expenses would be £10,000. So this is one of the major mistakes, and most common mistake I've seen is the recording of their own sales. Cost of goods sold in a way that it records expense rather than inventory. So that's something that definitely needs to be worked on. Another thing that most of the e-commerce really struggle with is the VAT system. So different countries have different VAT jurisdictions, and Brexit is coming in and it will be all different again. But VAT is something that a lot of e-commerce struggle with, and especially in the UK, dropshipping VAT is different to an Amazon or FBA VAT. So the VAT is a big jurisdiction and understanding of accounting itself. So that's something that we really struggle with in e-commerce business, and that's where you need an accountant and understanding of it in detail to understand what VAT is, which VAT is applicable to you, and how you declare your VATs at the end.
Could you please talk about the fines or punishments, the Amazon sellers might get from tax authorities if they are not organizing their accounting properly?
One of the main fines, or something that the e-commerce business should be really aware of, is VAT fines. So VAT is an expensive tax. So it's a tax that you collect on behalf of government from your sales, and obviously the vice versa is you do the inputs, and any VAT that you have paid, you declare that and pay the difference to HMRC. If you are delayed on it for the first time, depending on what your sales revenue are, you come under the radar of HMRC. So that's, again, still okay, but it's not a good situation to have for any starting e-commerce business. But if you delay the second time, again, I think the interest starts with 2.5%. So whatever your VAT was due, you get the first penalty at 2.5%, which could be huge for some e-commerce client, because there's a cash going out of your business. And more than cash, it's about coming under the radar of HMRC, which can then in future include visits from them, and more explanation to them, and having that understanding with them. So it's not only cash, it's about your time and all the efforts that you would spend on doing that. So missing a VAT deadline is something that e-commerce accountants should keep in mind, to make sure that they don't miss the deadlines, to avoid coming under the radar and spending the cash and time on it. So VAT would be the most important element on it.
All right, Taimur. So we got a lot of information and insights how to keep your numbers correct, how to run the bookkeeping properly. And could you give us some ideas on what kind of bookkeeping accounting tools Amazon sellers might use in their business?
I think for me, it's two simple things. In this day and age where the software has, improved and has gone to an extent where it can provide you majorly anything that you need for your business. So what you need specifically is an accounting software, and plus an accountant or an expert in that software to show you how it works and what it does. So the accounting software obviously will take your day-to-day data in day-to-day bookkeeping and produce reports in that accounting software, which works really well. And the accountant will be there to help you understand those numbers and understand what the software is producing for you. So those are the main tools that you need. And with many options out there, you just need to find out which one is the right fit for you. For example, Xero nowadays is quite popular on online bookkeeping, which does not require any documentation or any paperwork. It just does everything, through scan copies and stuff. So that is the new tool, or you could say something more of a futuristic, which is a paperless accounting software that you need. And then you need someone to explain you how that works and how it actually all combines every information together and produce a simple, straightforward report for you to understand how to do the business and how to work on your business.
All right, so let's talk now about Osome. How can you help Amazon sellers, e-commerce sellers, and actually other kind of companies with bookkeeping? I heard that you have some smart software behind your service, some smart algorithms which are kind of automating the bookkeeping, right?
Definitely. Osome has built up an ecosystem for e-commerce and other accounting platforms and industries. And there's a great amount of tech and accounting innovations going in the background. While, for example, a merchant gets a simple and easy to use a platform and all you do is, get in touch with us and contact us on a regular basis. Tell us about your business, if it's e-commerce or an old business, and we take care of all your books and provide the reports in a way that helps you understand your business. The automation is the key, and we are good at it. This automation helps us reduce the manual work that we put into, and it reduces the work that you need to put into with a normal traditional accounting compared to a normal traditional accounting firms. So the main element of it is the automation, the algorithm that we use to understand the patterns of your business. And, for example, a bookkeeping requires to understand what you're spending the money on and how you're spending that money on a regular basis. And most of the time goes in understanding those invoices and entering those into the systems. But with this algorithm and with this tech behind our software and our app, helps us, understand the patterns that your business is going through on day-to-day basis and help us reconcile those. We have system where we have some internal audit processes which helps us keep a track of all the bookkeeping that has been done and is it done accurately or not. So there are quite a few innovative features behind the scene which helps you keep your books accurate and up to date with Osome.
And could you please tell us in which countries are you offering your service? Is it worldwide, or businesses should be registered in specific countries?
So at the moment, Osome itself is available in 3 different geographic locations. We have UK, which we are currently focusing on the e-commerce side of things. We have Singapore, Hong Kong, at the moment, which covers that part of the world, where UK covers the UK itself, part of Europe, especially the VAT side, and US bookkeeping as well. So different offices are covering different areas. And in terms of industry, we develop the product in initial stages for every accounting or every industry, basically, from a normal, a taxi driver to an e-commerce to a restaurant. But then because the automation went into a specific way, that we now are focusing on e-commerce as a whole, because software is at that stage which it can help with the e-commerce, integrations and links with other platforms. But the app itself can do accounting for any industry.
And how far do you help with VAT filings?
Everything. So from your start of bookkeeping to VAT filing in UK and Europe, if you're UK-based customer.
All right, Timur, thank you very much. And those who are interested to try Osome service from Osome company, you will find the links below. You can check how they're doing with your bookkeeping and accounting, and let us know as well. And of course, Timur, can you please also tell us how people can get in touch with you, with your team, in case they have questions?
So the simplest way is our website. We have so if you go to osome.com, and it's a very well built self-explanatory website, or where you will find our number as well, and the sales contact for the sales team.
Yes, we will put all the information in the description. And thank you very much, Timur, and good luck in your business. Bye bye.
Thank you.
I do hope you got some takeaways from this conversation. Please don't make mistakes in your bookkeeping. Know your numbers so you will be more profitable and you will avoid fines by government and tax authorities. And if you run business in UK, Singapore, or Hong Kong, make sure that you check Osome. You will find the links below in the description. They have an excellent solution for automating your accounting. So basically, they have integration with different marketplaces like Amazon and eBay if you're selling there. And also another part of their services that you can automate the invoice import of the invoices into their system by sending directly PDFs or other formats of the invoices. So check them out. And now I would like to invite you to watch another video where the Alex, which runs the team of Osome, he presents their solution in more details. So you can watch this video about Osome to get to know more about them.